guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while. Pretty much just been doing the prop farming thing, which is going okay. I've kind of only been doing 10k accounts, just because now coming up to the end of the year, I don't really want to be in challenges going into December. So I think the 100k accounts I'll probably look at picking back up sort of first week, second week of Jan, but just about to pass another 10k, making small profits on the live 10k and making small profits on the funded 10k, should I say, and the funded 100k. Just, enough to keep me going, enough to keep the challenges paid for. Kind of looking at around 1,500 on the 100k account. Making about 500 on the 10k, so a little bit more aggressive on the 10k just because it's smaller account, costs less. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was the potential that we have coming up. Hopefully, let me explain what I mean. Part of the Blue Edge prop farming subscription, you get access to this leaderboard. And the leaderboard is created by us, by the community. And the cool thing about it is people are constantly creating new set files. So it's kind of getting better and better and better all the time. And someone has recently developed a set file that is getting, over the last year, a 92%. So let me just share my screen here. 92%. So this one over here, number 10, 92% pass rate. Now, what that means, if you look at the actual backtest, and the crazy thing is, the ones that are considered fails, some of them are actually retakes. So it's not actually a fail. So that pass rate, let's say the fail rate is not going to be quite the 7.7%. Because if you look, there's a fail, that one's a retake, that's a retake, that's a fail. So in the last year, there's only been 2 fails, which is actually it's crazy. So these guys are actually busy. So as you can see, let me go back. I can barely speak because I'm so excited. The potential that this has, if it is legit. So you can see the live market verified is not being ticked. Backtest verified has been. I've backtested it myself and it comes up with the same results. Now I think this Plutus, is actually a newer version. Because before I think it was giving it 90%. This 92%. We're kind of waiting at the moment for the guys at Blue Edge to do the live market testing. And I know because in the Discord, one of the guys that does it has already got a pass using it. So we look like we might be able to, in the next week or so, get this live market verified. Now what that means, guys, is essentially it means every 10 100k challenges we take, we're passing 9 of them. I mean, if you put that into perspective, what that actually means. This means we can go full aggro. If this is a legit, if these results actually translate onto the live market, you essentially are passing 9 out of 10 challenges. And this is for the 10k profit target for FTMO. Now what that means is once you have a funded account, 9 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 starts, you'll be getting $10,000. Now if you're getting an 80% profit split, you're essentially 9 out of 10 times getting $8,000 from that. I mean, the numbers are just, so going into next year, I am going to definitely be starting with this. I have 2 10k accounts on challenge at the moment. One, I'm using my manual auto strategy where I start and stop the bot myself, and it's actually been working very well. I'm about, I would say, $250 away from getting my verification. I've already passed the phase 1 on phase 2, and I'm about, but if that pushes up, I am going to close. I'm looking for about another $100 today, and then we will be sitting at 200, around 225. So we'll only need another 170 odd. But yeah, so really close to passing the verification. So then we'll have 2 live accounts. The other account I have is actually on this Plutus. We hit our first equity, but I've seen this thing hit equity and then come back and just smash the take profit. So I'm not too worried about that. And you know, it has taken losses. So coming to the end of the year, we might see a loss. So I am very excited about this moving forward. So that's kind of where we are with the prop farming. The potential of a set file that is absolutely going to kill the market. So I am very, very optimistic about this one, very excited about this one. And I will be starting 100K challenge on that set file. Probably like in the first or second week of next year. Not going to trade December because most of, I mean, this one, to be honest, if we look at this Plutus, the results, if you go into December, one of the fails was in December. Then we had a retake in December, and then we did have 2 passes in December. So maybe I'll keep running the 10K accounts on this, start another one Monday. So basically look at starting a new 10K account every Monday. I can only run 10 accounts, obviously, so I essentially will be able to have 4 10K accounts and the 100K. If that is the case, if I get 4 10K accounts, I will basically put them together for every time I pass a new one. So if I pass this one now, I'm going to put those 2 together, so I'll have a 20K account. If I pass another 10, put that together, I'll have a 30K account, that again, and then I'll have a 40K account. And I can still basically run that 40K on 1 license, and I still have 3 free licenses. So that's how I'm going to play it. Yeah, potential for this one is just, it's insane. It really is. So that's that. That's where we are with the group. I mean the prop farming. So that's where we are with the prop firms. And then my little demo account. I'm still kind of tweaking, fine tuning. You see, there's a lot of testing going on there. So the strategy you guys saw, the last you saw, I was using that only trading London Open, only trading of you know, the break of structure after London Open, and that worked well. It worked, you know, it was okay. I had the win rate was fairly good. I think after about 3 weeks, I ended up about $250 up. So not bad at all on a 5K account, but I know it sounds bad. I want more. I want to find a strategy that I can consistently pull 0.5 to 1% a day. So I'm looking for around 3 to 5% a week. That's my goal. So I want to see how I can get that consistently and be confident in that. So what I have started testing now is, again, using the ladder structure, but it's not quite like I was before. It's not the EMAs. I don't use EMA to get my entry. I'm basically building the ladder on whole strong numbers in whatever they win. So to explain that, let me go quickly back to my screen, and then I am going to go to, as you can see, this is a $5,000 account. I'm doing a backtest now for you guys. My starting lot at the moment, what I'm kind of like playing around with is 0.1. And I am marking up my ladder at every 0.01. So as you can see, it's 1.09, 1.1, 1.08, 1.07. So these are my whole numbers. And let me just go through, do a little bit of a back test. We are now, I think, sitting around 6th of June. So let me just show you how I trade this. I wait for price to essentially get to one of these areas. We have a strong push up now, so I'll be taking my first buy. Okay, so now what I do, perfect. If we have a move in the opposite direction, I will now take a sell. So I lock in my my floating loss. Okay, and then I just wait now to see. Okay, let's wait till we get to a next zone. So I just wait. Sometimes this can take a few days to happen. You just got to be patient. Pushing down now. So we're pretty much hitting this zone here. So let's see if we actually get to it right there. And we've broken it as well. Okay. So what I want to do now is, so there's two ways you can play this. What you could do now is you could add a new sell because you can see prices moving in that direction. Or we can wait until price clearly has a turnaround and we can close that sell and open up a new buy. Okay. So you can see sell, it's really strong heading down. So it looks like it's formed a bit of a support here. Do we break this? Yes, we do. Are we going to come back? No. Okay, so we're going to keep pushing down. So essentially, I'm just waiting now for price to make up its mind. Okay, so like I said up there, because we had that break straight away, you could have taken a new sell and waited until that sell gave you overall profit and then closed. That's not how I've been trading it. I've been trading it more like this. So we've touched there. We now are pushing up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for price to confirm that we are pushing up. Let's see what it does here. We're going to tap back into that. Okay, price is pushing up now. Okay, now it's broken up, so I'm just going to be a bit patient still. Right, now we have a big push up. We have a long wick there, so I'm not ready yet to do that. Okay, so now we have a big push up. So now what I can do is if I open my trades, I basically will say, okay, I'm going to close this sell, and I'm now going to open up a new buy at 0.01. And essentially now I'm just waiting to get these two to break even, or get close to break even. So now we have price pushing further down. Okay, so what you could do now is you can hold on to that loss. You could wait until that, but I'm going to go, because we now have 0.1, 0.1, so now my buy is going to be 0.2, okay? No, not buy, sorry, sell. Let's see. Okay, so we have a big push up now. So all we're doing now is we're waiting for, okay, sorry, it's gone way too fast. Let me move this side. It's a bit laggy. Okay, so now what we can do is, if I just back up a little bit, back to about there. When we had that big rejection off of that, okay, as you can see, the buys, I have basically got to break even on those buys. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to close those buys. Close this buy and close this buy. So now our starting lot is 0.2. So now I'm going to take a new sell at 0.2. If price pushes above that wick, I'm going to now buy for 0.4. Okay, so let's have a look. All I want now is these two to break even, or close to break even. Okay, there. So we're on a floating of -5, so that's pretty much break even. And you can see now, if we close all, we have made $262 from that. Okay, so it's taken a couple of weeks. So sometimes you get stuck in these a little bit longer. But overall, I'm happy with that, right? I took 3 weeks now to make 250. So let's work it out. So if that is, we started, I think it was around the 6th. This is now, so call it about, what are we at, 17, 10 days. So about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, making $26 a day. Okay, so $26, that's 0.5. So that is essentially 262. It is 2.6, if I'm not mistaken, percent, which is pretty much. I was saying I want about 3 to 5%. That was one that we kind of held into position a lot longer than we wanted to. Still making around close to the 3% in a week. Okay, so not bad at all. So now what we could do, we have that, we could just continue straight away. We go back to the 0.1, and we are going to take a sell right here because that does look like it's pushing down. Okay. Okay, so it pushed back up. So my buy would have been about there. So, okay, so we're going to buy now as well. So we've essentially locked in our drawdown, and I just do the same thing. You wait for price to get to the next zone. And you could also just use price action if you wanted to. You don't have to use the zones. Okay, so now we've hit that zone. I'm going to close this buy, and I'm going to take a new sell, and I'm going to wait for these to pretty much break even again, right? Provided price is pushed higher. If it pushes higher, I take a new buy. Right, there we go. After that big push down right there, I would have closed all. And just like that, we're now sitting at 370. 370, and we're about 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks in. So that's fairly passive. I'm trading at 0.1. You could go a little bit higher, because essentially what will happen is the higher the lot size gets, the more profit you're making, which will be, so when you get stuck into a big move, you'll be making more profit. So you'll be making the profit that you'll be playing with. So every move makes its own profit to play with, if that makes sense. So let's just do one more. So it's going to break, push up. So let's take a buy. Okay, so this has hit these highs here. So I'm actually going to close that there. I'll close all. And then we keep playing. So we're sitting at $439 profit after 20 days. 20 days, so about 3 weeks. 3 weeks, so what are we looking at there now? Which is about 3%. So that's exactly where I want to be. 3 to 5%. Some weeks you're going to make more, and you can play a little bit more aggressively. Like I could start at 0.2, and in that case I'll be sitting on about 8. So this is how I am going to be trading, just to give you an idea. I am testing it now. I'm going to test it for a few months maybe. The whole idea now is I'm kind of concentrating on the prop farming, but in the meantime I'm working out a strategy that I can start trading when I start pushing profits from the prop farming into a live account. I want to know how I can best grow that. So I'm just going to test this on a demo account. I'm going to keep testing it. Let me close that. Close this. Close the simulation. Okay, this is a $50 profit. So I'm going to wait till this gets to about $200. I'm going to close that, and essentially we just need to make another $200 next week, which shouldn't be too difficult. So I'm going to leave this to put about $100 for the day. Then I'm going to close. Normally I don't trade on Friday, so I'm not going to push it too far. And then this account will be at about 10,200. We are looking for 400 because this is the verification account, and then we will essentially have two 10K accounts to play with. And then, like I said, I'll keep trading them as separate accounts, and then I've got the third account on that new set file. So if that can pass, we'll essentially have three 10K accounts. which I might look at merging in together. And then that could potentially make us about $1,000. I'd say about $1,000 a month if I trade it. Trade it like I've been trading the 100K account, or maybe a little bit more aggressively. And then I am going to still take a new 10K account every single week and put it on that new set file. So we'll see how that goes. So this one looking good, guys. Hopefully we'll get this verification passed early next week, and then essentially have 3 funded accounts: 100K, 220, 2 10Ks, which we might merge together to make a 20K account. Yeah, so that's that, guys. That's where we are. That's the test. If I now go back to, let me just go back to this one. As you can see, this is exactly the strategy I'm working on now. 0.05, so it's way more passive. I'm still testing it. I am going to go to the 0.1. So if this pushes up, you can see it did push up to that, but it wasn't a clear enough move for me, so I just held on. So if this pushes up and breaks that, then I might look at closing the buy and reopening the new sell and waiting for that break even. So the strategy looks good. You've just got to be patient and make sure that your 2 positions are holding through those big moves. And once you are sure about a change, then you close and you open again, and then you wait for that break even. And that's how you constantly are securing your profits. And like I said, is as you end up going higher with those lot sizes, so if you're pushing down and you're opening up bigger lots, and then it pushes against you, and you're actually now creating the opposite direction, the trades in the opposite to what you started. I know it sounds confusing. You will slowly be getting bigger lot sizes. But as the lot sizes grow, you will be closing bigger profits. So the profits themselves will be allowing for the bigger lot sizes. So you can essentially go quite deep into drawdown, because essentially you're making those profits to play with. And then as soon as you go to break even, you've secured those profits. So that as that happens, you can actually secure some serious big profits. I am doing it on the 30 minutes, so it's just patience, just waiting and watching. But that's where we are, guys. So the Pepstone account is sitting on 5,700. So I did trade this a little bit last week, and it was actually did very well. I took it from $300 up to about 800 or 900. Lost a few there. I lost a few, but I was trading very small lots. I was just playing around, closing up and going. So yeah, these kind of were more messing around, but now I'm kind of back in it, using the strategy, and we'll be testing this strategy for the next few months. And if it goes well, I will definitely be putting the live event on this. So that's where we are, guys. That's everything. I think I've gone over everything. But yeah, this right here is looking very promising. 92% win rate. I mean, this has got me super excited. And if you look at most of the time, within 15 days, I think the average days was 12.7. Because one of the things this one does is, if you do hit your equity, you will only start again the following week. And I think that's because when there is a certain move and there's a bit of volatility and whatever makes you hit your equity, it wants to just kind of say, okay, you know what, I'm out of the market, let price do what it's doing, I'll come back in next week. So sometimes these ones that take a little bit longer, you hit an equity and you go back in the next week. So the one that I've got on this did hit equity, and I'm waiting, it's on, I'm waiting for it to take its new position next week. So we'll see how that plays out. Like I said, one of the testers, the guys that works for Blue Edge, and actually the guy that created all of this, he's just got a pass, and I think it was this one starting. Yeah, I think this ended up in a pass for him. So maybe this has not been updated yet. But he sent a message in the Discord group saying that he's passed using this set file. So I think we will potentially in the next week or so see this get a green tick for live market verification as well, which means it's good to go. So yeah, I'm very excited about that one, man. Because if you could have 500K accounts, and you're only losing the account, you know, 1 in 10 times, but you're making 9 out of 10 times $8,000 in your pocket, man, potentially is going to be massive. So I am very excited about that one. And if that does go very well, I'll start basically bringing 2 accounts to 1, so I can essentially trade bigger accounts over the 5 licenses. So exactly what I'm doing with the 10Ks now. I will put 2 100K accounts together to have a 200K. Do that twice with 1. Because I think you can go max. So with each prop firm, I think you can go max to 400K with a prop firm. So essentially, I can have 400K accounts with 1 prop firm, put them in together. So I'll have 2 200K accounts, and then do that with other prop firms as well. So I essentially can trade a much bigger, how would I say, capital over all the prop firms. So you could essentially go from trading 500,000 capital to trading 1 million capital if you brought them all together. And you got to a point that you have passed 10 different 100Ks. But if this is as good as it looks, you should be doing that quite easily. So that is like the big picture, the big goal is to get to a point where I have passed 10 100K accounts that I have basically put each of them into, so 200s into 200, 200s into 200, so I'll essentially have 5 200K accounts. At that point, we're trading with $1 million, $1 million capital. And then you're making just 2% a month, you're still making 20, you are basically making $20,000, which I think once they've taken their profit is $16,000. You're potentially making that every 2 weeks. So potentially 32 to 50s in a good week. But this is the crazy thing, right? I'm saying 2,000. And because this is a 92%, you actually wouldn't have to trade it that passively. I would say you're pushing for the full amount. So you're pushing for 8K. You're pushing for the 8%. So it even gets better, man. So if you eventually get to that $1 million amount and you are making 8%, you're making $80,000, and that's after they've taken their profit. $80,000 potential, which is just like, so that's the big time goal, guys. And I think it's a way away, but this has just made it a lot more possible. So yeah, very excited about that. I'll keep you guys updated about how this actually trades live. But if this is a thing, you guys have got to jump on. Remember, I have got an affiliate link, which will be in the description. So if you guys want to jump onto this will be the time. Don't trade December. I am going to trade. I'm only going to do the 10K accounts. I'm going to go through December, but the big accounts I'll only be starting like in the first or second week of next year. So if you guys want to jump on, this is the time, man. You have a set file that's giving you 92% pass rate. Man, that's something else. If you don't jump on, I'll be like, what the hell, why? And I use my affiliate link. Don't use it, I don't care. But get onto this because this could be life changing. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's my update. I will catch you guys next week. Have a good weekend, and yeah, bye for now.